In a little church at the end of a dirt road in a tiny rural Massachusetts town, Violet sits in the same spot, in the same pew she sits in every Sunday. Every Sunday, Violet takes her seat, folds her hands in her lap, and quietly listens to the preacher's sermon. But on this particular Sunday, Violet is distracted. As she scans the rows of the other women, dressed in their church-going best, admiring their pearls, their fancy hats, their flowery dresses, someone new to the congregation catches her eye. She appears to be the same age as Violet. As she squints to get a better look, she is taken aback by her beauty. Her cheeks flush with envy. Ironically, the preacher's sermon on this particular day is one about the evils of vanity. If she was listening to him instead of seething with jealousy, she would have heeded his warnings and avoided the peril that was to come. Beware of practicing your righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them, for then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. Thus, when you give to the needy, sound no trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be praised by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. And when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. The outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. And you, O desolate one, what do you mean that you dress in scarlet, that you adorn yourself with ornaments of gold, that you enlarge your eyes with paint? In vain your beauty yourself. Your lovers despise you, they seek your life. For while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way. When the final note of the last hymn was sung, the congregation made its way outside. In an attempt to learn more about the newcomer, Violet approaches her.
Hello, my name is Violet. Are you new to our little church?
Oh, why, yes I am. I was just passing through town. I'm from the Deep South. I didn't really know what to expect from the sermon today, but I did quite enjoy it. What an important lesson for us all.
Was it? I wasn't quite paying attention today as much as I usually do. To be honest, I was quite taken aback about how different you are, how beautiful you are. It seems like you could never age.
Oh, I thank you. You are much too kind. You know, I really don't share my secrets with everyone, but perhaps if we got to know each other a little better, I could let you in on the secret to timeless beauty. Would you care to come with me? I'll tell you all about it.
Without hesitation, Violet nods anxiously as the stranger motions for her to follow her into the nearby woods. As they make their way deeper into the woods without saying a word, the sounds of the congregants become distant behind them. Only the sound of their footsteps and the occasional cricket can be heard. The stranger stops abruptly and turns to Violet.
Are you sure you want me to tell you the secret to timeless beauty?
Oh, yes, I would do anything to stay beautiful forever.
You might not like what I have to say. Timeless beauty comes with a price, you know.
I'm quite sure it is worth it, whatever it is. I would do anything to be prettier than the other women in town. Actually, I don't want to be prettier. I want to be the prettiest.
Then I have a deal for you.
The following Sunday, Violet again follows the ritual of attending church. The stranger she met a week ago is not in attendance. Violet assumes she has moved on to whatever her final destination was. After the sermon, as the congregation gathers to chat outside the church, Violet decides to invite one of the women over for an afternoon tea.
Wow, that dark, gloomy castle really looks different today.
Yeah, they've really fixed it up.
Have you read the new Edgar Allan Poe poem?
Yeah, it really touched my soul like the servant did.
Do you want to come over?
Yes, please. Let's talk about the servant. Let's go right now. Let's go.
Sitting in her living room later that day, the two women engage in conversation about TV, the weather, and other unimportant subjects.
I'm so glad the snow is finally melting.
What a long winter we've had.
I know, I think I've seen some flowers blooming.
And it stays much lighter out during the evening.
I know, I always think I look better once I get a little color from the sun.
Speaking of looks, I can't quite put my finger on it, but you look different. Quite stunning. Quite radiant, actually.
I don't think there's anyone as beautiful as you in the whole entire town.
Violet flushes with both embarrassment and with an overwhelming sense of excitement. This is exactly the words she has wanted to hear, what she hoped she'd hear, especially after her recent encounter. Violet excuses herself from her company and says she'll return in a few moments. She can hardly contain herself as she rushes to the nearby bathroom to take a quick glimpse of herself in the mirror. Of course, she wants to see the change her friend has noticed in her, but when she flicks on the lights and stares ahead, she is puzzled by the reflection. Nothing at all seems different. She looks and thinks she appears exactly the same.
Dear Diary, I just want to be perfect. I thought I would be. I thought after I met that stranger and agreed to let her help me that I would see a change. I don't. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm disappointed. Oddly, though, other people notice. Something, anyway. What do they see that I don't?
Upset, Violet sighs heavily, closes her journal, and returns to the other room. Violet rejoins the woman on the couch, and they continue to drink their tea and long for the impending summer.
Could it be that I'm getting older? Uglier? It's been 5 years since I made the deal with that stranger in the woods. I cannot spend another moment living like this. This is not a blessing. It's a curse to appear beautiful to everyone but myself. Why? Why did this have to happen to me?
Perhaps she can find the stranger and beg her to reverse the wretched curse she put on her. She wastes no time heading back to the woods near the church where she spoke to the stranger that fateful day. She calls out frantically, not really expecting for the woman to appear, but desperate for a way to reach out to her.
Could you be here? Can you hear me? I need to speak with you. Help me, please.
Suddenly, she hears footsteps behind her and spins around to come face to face with the stranger who changed her life so many years ago.
Oh, thank goodness! I need your help. You have to release me from this curse. I can't go on living like this. Everyone seems to think that I'm more beautiful each day, younger, prettier. But I can't stand looking at myself in the mirror because that's not what I see. It pains me to be plagued by these horrifying images that I see in the mirror. You have to do something.
Poor Violet. You asked me to help you, and I said there will be consequences. It wasn't me who did this to you, it was yourself. It was your own obsession to be perfect. Your preacher warned you about the evils of vanity, but instead of listening to him, you came to me. Making a deal with the devil comes with its consequences. Beauty from within is what really matters, but instead, your soul is ugly. So now when you look in the mirror, that is what you see, a reflection of your soul.
Violet stands in shock as the stranger turns and disappears into the woods. Defeated, Violet returns home. She heads toward the bathroom as she has done for so long, turns on the light, and this time, staring back at her, is possibly the worst reflection she has ever seen of herself. She stands for what seems like hours, her despicable face in her hands, sobbing at who she had become. It was the last time she'd looked in the mirror. The next week, Violet was not seen in church. A few concerned congregants went to her house to see if she was okay. What they found was her lifeless corpse hanging from the dead tree in her backyard.
Honey, hurry up! You're gonna be late for school!
Okay, Mom, just let me wash my face.
Speed up. Gas pedal.
Are you filming this?
I woke up like this. I woke up like this. We flawless.
Oh, it's a go! Oh, it's a go! So Haley's back.
That thing, she gon' pop that.
That is what you see, a reflection of your soul. Whoopsie!